Hello listeners, you are listening to Bal Jagat, a special program on Akashwani Teju. I am Siwani and with me are
Nityashree Yogita,
Divya Sonar,
Sanju Kumari,
Arpita Ram,
Mena Mom,
Kimtilu Manyu,
Astika Shah,
Benel Ramad,
Swastika Shah,
Anushka Kumari,
Trisha Kumari,
Purbi Dev,
Jetliso Bellai,
Manisha Kumari Gupta,
Suraksha Sonar,
Alina Pradhan,
Usha Kaur.
friends. We are delighted to bring you a selection of poems and stories we have enjoyed in today's program. All the stories and poems you hear have been brought to life by young readers, your friends and neighbors from your very own Bambusa Library, Teju. And before we begin, let us take a moment to acknowledge a special day that just passed. National Broadcasting Day, observed every year on July 23rd, marks the beginning of radio broadcasting in India, dating back to 1927 when the Indian Broadcasting Company aired its first program from Bombay. Radio has since become a timeless companion to listeners across countries, connecting people, cultures, and generations. Today, we are proud to carry forward that spirit of connection through storytelling. Let us begin our program. Dear listeners, let's begin with a delightful and original poem, I Have Got My Sunshine, written and presented by Anushka Kumari.
I want to live in a world where trees touch the sky. I want to live in a world where trees touch the sky, where water is plenty and wildlife runs free. Life like a flower, the wind like a breeze. I know I all be happy 'cause I feel at ease. I know I all be happy 'cause I feel at ease. Now I can say I have got my sunshine. Now I can say I can be fine. Now I can say I have got my sunshine. Now I can say I can be fine.
Friends, up next is an insightful story titled The Big Old Enoki Tree from the book The Earth Carrier's Guide to Climate Change, presented by Benel Romat.
The Big Old Enoki Tree. There was once a young man. His name was Satsuma. He lived in a garden that was more beautiful than any that you have ever seen. It had many trees with flowers and birds and fruits, ponds and little lakes, and a tall and spreading enoki tree. The enoki was a very, very old tree. Some people said it was 1,000 years old. Satsuma was a man with a very bad heart. He said, I can't see the sun when I wake up in the morning because of that tree, so he called a lot of men and cut down the tree. Strangely, that day, Satsuma fell ill, and from that day on, he never came out of his house at all, and there was no one to look after Satsuma's house and a garden.
Listeners, now we bring you a Hindi poem titled Sunkar, beautifully presented by our young readers Manisha, Purbi and Alina.
सुनकर मच्छर की सहनाई भागी नींद हमारी घर के बाहर से भीतर तक राज इन्हीं का मानो हम कितने लाचार हो गए तुम भी बच्चों जानो बिस्तर पर मैं तड़प रहा हूँ आए विपदा भारी सर्दी हो या भीषण गर्मी खुलकर हमला करते पीते खून हमारा जीवन नहीं जरा भी डरते आते ही वर्षा का मौसम बढ़ जाती बीमारी मच्छरदानी के भीतर भी कभी नहीं बच पाते होकर कंधे पे सवार ये बड़ी शान से आते याद हमें आ जाती अपनी नानी प्यारी प्यारी कभी कभी हम रात रात भर ताली खूब बजाते इस ताली से 10-12 तक मच्छर भी मर जाते लेकिन कैसे निपटे इनसे इनकी संख्या भारी सुनकर मच्छर की सहनाई भागी नींद हमारी सुनकर मच्छर की सहनाई भागी नींद हमारी.
Friends, let us now listen to a heartfelt letter titled Dear Popat from Children's World magazine, brought to you by Arpita Ram.
Today, I am going to read a heartfelt letter from the book Dear Popat, published by National Book Trust and written by freedom fighter Madhulimai while he was imprisoned by the Portuguese in Goa. This letter is addressed to his little son Aniruddha, or you can say Popat. Popat used to call his father Bhai, as others around him do so. Even though they were separated, Madhulimai expressed his deep love through simple and warm letters that his wife would read to Popat. The letter I am sharing today reflects not just the father's affection but also his hope, courage, and the dream of freedom. Let's listen to one such letter straight from a prison cell, filled with love. So, stay with me as I take you back to the year 1957 through the words of a father to his precious son. Dear Popat, for such a long time I haven't written you a letter or told you a story. You must be angry with me for that. I am writing this letter, but perhaps even before your eye can read it out to you, you will meet your bhai and will be with his dearest precious Popat in our own home in Mumbai, and we will be together always. You had come to visit me with I and Vinayak uncle last year. You had talked to me so much. You had said, Bhai, I go to school now, to Inabai's Puspavikas. Who is Inabai? Our teacher. She likes me very much. After that, I took you into our room. Hardly a room. It was more like a big iron cage in which tigers are kept. But I am no longer in that cage. After such a long, long time, I am able to walk around freely, wherever I please, for however long I wish. There is a beautiful blue sky overhead and tiny stars are twinkling. Some months ago, I was in the El Tinho prison. The Portuguese had told me, You are going to be kept here for 12 years. We will shut the door and put a big fat lock on it. A white Portuguese man used to bring us our food. He used to tease me. See if we ever let you go. You wanted Goa. Now sit here quietly in your cage. And I'd reply, If you won't set me free, then don't. He'd say, When you finally go home, your fellow becomes so big. He might even be studying in college. But see what happened in just 1 year's time. Some days ago, a Portuguese soldier came up to us and said, Pera casa, you are going home. We did not believe him. But this morning, they put us into a big car and dropped us off somewhere near Karwar. Bye-bye, go home now, they said. Popat, your bhai is free, so are the other uncles. But so many people are still in the prison. Do you remember Sudha Mausi? You had gone with I to meet her at the Kuipem jail, and she had given you some sweets. She is still locked up. Popat, won't it be truly wonderful when all these birds fly off out of their cages? All right, enough now. I am very tired, and someone seems to be whispering in my ear, Go to sleep. You have to leave in the morning, so you must wake up early. You cannot remain sleeping like a lazy fellow. So, I will hand over this letter to the postman and have a rest with him. Let's see whether this reaches Popat first or his bhai does. Yours, bhai.
Listeners, let us now listen to Waiting for Guest, a theatre reading from Dimdima magazine presented by Anushka, Kumari and friends.
A farmer would eat his midday meal only after feeding 3 guests every day.
We've had no visitors. Why don't you eat lunch?
No guests came and the farmer did not eat all day. There were no guests the next day either, nor the next.
Father, you must eat something today.
No, I can't.
Just as the farmer was preparing to leave his farm, the priest came by.
Have you eaten today?
He hasn't eaten anything for the past 3 days. Please do something to break his vow.
All right.
The priest felt sorry for the farmer.
Make 3 figures from sugar, offer them food, and then you can eat.
The farmer did as he was advised. Many days passed, and then one day, 3 men came to see him.
Please stay on for lunch.
Won't it be too much trouble for your wife?
Not at all. Make yourself comfortable. I have some urgent work at the farm, but I will be back soon.
Meanwhile,
Who will eat sugar gas now?
I will eat the big one.
I'll take the one in the middle.
Keep the small guest for your father too.
their voices could be heard outside where the three men were relaxing.
Do you hear that? They are planning to eat us.
They are cannibals. Let's get out of here. The three men got up quickly and ran out of the house. The farmer saw them fleeing.
Wait, why are you leaving? I haven't had gas for a long time and I am famous. Please don't go.
Hearing this, the frightened men ran away as fast as they could.
Friends, up next is a story written by Sudha Murthy, How the Sea Became Salty, presented by Jetliso Bellai.
Hello. Long time ago, seawater was sweet and drinkable. How it became salty is a remarkable story. Siddhar was an orphan. He stayed with his brother Keshav and his sister-in-law Leela. While Keshav was quiet and kind, Leela was mean and selfish. She resented Siddhar staying with them. She would not give him enough to eat, made him work very hard, and found many ways to trouble him. Keshav could never gather the courage to stop his wife. From treating his brother so badly. One day, Leela told Siddhar to get some firewood. Obediently, he went to the nearby forest with his axe and chopped some wood. Then he bundled the stick and returned. Just as it was getting dark, on seeing him, Leela shouted, "Look, how late you are! What took you so long? Is this any time to come home? When will I light the kitchen fire and when will I cook?" Then, looking carefully, she asked, "Where is your axe? If you have left it in the forest, you have to return right now and get it. I will not allow you to enter the house without it." Poor Siddhar had to walk back into the forest in the dark. The shadows were dense, and there was no moonlight to help him either. He searched everywhere, but could not find the axe. Without realizing it, he wandered deeper and deeper into the forest as he searched. Suddenly, storm clouds gathered and rain started pouring down. Siddhar spotted a flicker of light in the distance and ran out towards it. The light was coming from a fire, which hung with. Suddenly, storm cloud gathered and the rain started pouring down. Siddhar spotted a flicker of light in the distance and ran towards it. Then, what do you think happened next? If you want to know more about this story, come to Bambusai Library and read this book, How the Sea Became Salty by Sudha Murthy.
And now, listeners, we bring you an interesting piece titled Here Comes the Camel, presented by reader Nityashree Yogita.
Today I am going to recite a poem named My Pencil from the book Here Comes the Camel. The book is written by Priyag Shukla. My pencil is so special, it jots down letters neat. In maths, it's hard to beat. Leaves and flowers, plants and pots, lions and birds, it draws in a shot. Drawing lines for a house so tall, my special pencil does it all. My special pencil does it all. Thank you.
Readers, we now bring you a book review by Pratibha Nath on the book 10 Indian Women Who Were First to Do What They Did from Children's World magazine, presented by reader Mena Mam.
We live in an age when women are flying fighter planes and pioneering advanced scientific research. But there was a time when all this was not even dreamed of. That was the time when all women were all but locked up in their homes and not allowed to step out except when accompanied by a male member of the family. Indeed, some countries of the world still follow this dictum, but we are largely through with it and in a position to look back. Our thoughts naturally turn to women who had the drive and guts to break the bonds. First of all, this book does a wonderful job of recounting the lives and achievements of 10 such remarkable Indian women. In this book, Shruti Rao narrates the absorbing tales of 10 such inspirational women, tales that are liberating for all those who dare to dream. They are Savitri Bai Phule, Kadambini Ganguly, Cornelia Sorabji, Anushka Sorabhai, Jaddan Bhai Hussain, Lakshmi Sagar, Indira Gandhi, A. Lalitha, C.B. Puthamma, and P.T. Usha. Did you know that Kadambini Ganguly was the first Indian woman to qualify as a doctor in 1886? She overcame many barriers to become a medical practitioner, a field dominated by men. This was the time when all women who had medical problems suffered in silence. Kadambini's contribution to medicine, particularly in women's healthcare, created significant progress towards gender equality and social justice. The result: India was among the first countries where women could get medical degrees. Their skills as doctors were much talked about and opened the doors for others to follow.
Friends, next we have a wonderful book reading, Why Are Akru's Horns Curved? Written by Dr. Ambika Ayudurai and Mamta Pandya, presented by Kimtilu Manyu.
Hello everyone, today we are going to travel through the valleys of Dibang and unfold the story of an Idu legend. Why are the Akru's horns curved? As told by a grandmother to her dear grandson. The story takes place in the serene and peaceful village of Itabe, nestled in the Dibang valleys. It revolves around a young boy named Jiha, who is sitting by the fire with his grandmother. Jiha especially loves hearing stories about the animals in the forests and mountains surrounding their tiny village. That night, Naya decides to tell him the tale of the Akru. What is the Akru, Naya? The Akru lives in the high mountains. It is a strange-looking animal, like a mix of a goat and an antelope. It has a heavy, hairy body and hunched shoulders with a thick, short neck. But it has short legs and a short tail. What makes it look even odder is its nose, which looks like a swollen black bulb. Little Jiha closed his eyes and painted a visual picture of the Akru as Naya described it. Does it have horns, Naya, like the Mako and the Mai? No, said Naya. The Akru's horns are not like theirs. She pointed to the short curved horns on the animal's skull board. The Akru's horns were not always curved like this. They say that a long time ago they were long and straight. Jiha's eyes widened. How did they become curved then, Naya? If you want to know more about the story, come to Bambusa Library and read the book Why Are the Akru's Horns Curved? Thank you.
Listeners, here comes a reading from the book The Boy Who Swallowed a Nail and Other Stories by Lalita Iyer, presented by Swastika Sa.
When Sri Ram was 4 years old, he swallowed a nail. Yes, a real iron nail that you hammer into wall. He swallowed it. The whole thing, it went right into his stomach. The only thing, no one believed him. It was Saturday. Appa was home, so was Vasu Chittappa and Pati, my grandmother, and Peri Appa, my dad's older brother. There was some carpentry going on in the house. Amma had gone to school and my sister and I were playing a neighbor's house. Sri Ram never played with toys. He always played with real things, and the kitchen was his favorite place. He would pretend to cook rice on a stove just like Pati and drain the starch out by tilting it over an utensil and wedge a steel tumbler into the gap of support. He would exclaim, "Chow, chow, chow." That was the word they used to describe rice to children. Since we live in a joint family, there was always an older person around to keep an eye on what he was up to when he was not troubling his twin Chonu. Except for the time when elder were so busy doing eldering things like drinking water, gossiping, sleeping in the afternoon, or reading the newspaper for hours. At the time the event occurred, there were 3 elders in the house. Pati was in the kitchen cooking. Periappa and Vasu Chittappa were arguing about some Russian policy. Appa was reading the Indian Express in the balcony. Sriram technically all by himself, playing ball. He would roll it to the wall and it would roll back for him to catch. On the day he rolled it and it rolled under the cupboard. So he had to go flat on his tummy to look for it there. As he fished the ball out, what did he see but a tray full of carpenter goodies? It must have been from the work that were going on to fix the door on the cabinet, he thought. There was a hammer, plier, a drill and nail of all sizes, from the tiny ones to the scary-looking huge one. Sriram took a handful to his hand and jingled them. Then they sound nice. He thought of hammering a nail into his finger and see what happened. He had heard the story of Jesus trees and how he was nailed to a cross for me. I had one tied to sew my finger under a sewing machine and blood had spurted out and he had seen me help. So maybe he figured that it was not such a good idea. He wondered what a nail would taste like and he put one in his mouth. Yuck! It was so weird, like of metallic, like an umbrella or a spoon. Suddenly, the doorbell rang and Sriram was startled out of the silent mischief. In the excitement to hide the tray of nails and the implement under the cupboard, he unwittingly swallowed the nail. Yes, he had swallowed a nail, a whole nail. He felt it going. He was sure about it. Oh no, what had he done? If you want to know more about this story, come to Bambusa Library and read this book, The Boy Who Swallowed a Nail and Other Stories.
And finally, let us enjoy a cheerful Hindi poem titled Natkhat Tum from Nandan magazine. Can you guess who is a Natkhat here? Let us find out from readers Sanju Kumari and Divya Sonar.
नटखट तुम बंदर कितने नटखट तुम करते रहते खटपट तुम केले देख हाथ में मेरे आ जाते हो झटपट तुम और झपट केले सब मेरे भागा करते सरपट तुम उधम खूब मचाते तुम छत पर दौड़ लगाते तुम चश्मा पहने नानी बेटी उसको खूब चिढ़ाते तुम चाहा तुमको सबक सिखाऊं पर न पकड़ में आते तुम चाहा तुमको सबक सिखाऊं पर न पकड़ में आते तुम.
Dear friends and little listeners, that brings us to the end of Bal Jagat program. We hope you enjoyed listening as much as we enjoyed preparing it for you. Let's continue to read, learn and share the joys of stories wherever we go. Stay curious, stay kind and keep tuning into Akashvani Teju. This is your host for today's program and a volunteer at Bambusa Library, Siwani Pul, signing off. Thank you.